Hello everyone, my name is Rage and welcome one and all to the beginning of the official Worms W.M.D tournament. I am hyped as hell, and you should be too, because this is going to be a veritable banana cluster of thrills, plot twists, emotional roller coasters, incredible skilled displays, and even more incredible failed displays of true Worms suicide. So, there are places still left for grabs in the tournament, but enough have been secured to kick off this glorious fight for the supreme signed by Team 17 plushie. And that burden of kicking things off falls to two individuals by the name of Equinox and Beware the Darkness. Before we let them kill each other for our own amusement, I did ask them a couple of questions just so we get an idea of the person behind the worm. If Beware the Darkness was a worm, he would go full evil genius villain and blow everything up, so, police on standby. Equinox, however, would go the more Spider-Man route with the worms, and I can dig that. Equinox very much giving his opponent a happy, good luck, have fun, he's just pleased to be there, whereas Darkness, well, he's got a little bit of a cocky streak with a good luck, you're going to need it, Yugi. So without further ado, let's boogaloo. Here we are then, everyone, my excitement reaching fever pitch, the first game of the Worms tournament. It's going to be good, because I know it's going to be good, because I've kidnapped both the contestants' families and told them if they don't make the most exciting game known to man occur, well, let's just say they'll become the last of their line, as will be the norm. The klaxon, the starting bell, the gunshot to begin the race, will be my poor worm. Oh, perfect 10! Did you see that? An 8-tuple backflip into the water. Give me your scorecards in the comments. And with my worm's death, the carnage begins. And look at this! We have ourselves the Lizard Lords, which is my own pet name for them, amassing a veritable arsenal of vehicles. We got Rocket League cars, helicopters, mechs, tanks, they've even got a turret. They're like fortified hardcore all up in here. So he's gone for the mech straight away. A solid choice, a very powerful vehicle, and an all-round useful thing. Because let's be honest, guys, in any given situation, he's going to get away from the mine just fine. Very close, though. A little bit too close, I imagine, for him. But in any given situation, when you have the choice between a tank, helicopter, or a mech walker, well, I think we know the answer. Not only is he going to hopefully disable the helicopter, but he's going to do a real number to Rorschach here. Rorschach? Future Rage here, sparing you from the pain of this pronunciation. And, you know, it was bugging me, so I went and looked it up, and it's Rorschach. Rorschach? It's Rorschach. I'm an idiot. Some of these videos while I'm here will be commented with more than just me, so that'll be fun. Look forward to that. But for now, very solid opening move there. You can't go wrong with 120 damage. Of course, this is all on the line here, because in the round of 16, the elimination is simply best out of 1. However, they do get 5 worms. They do get a lot of time to prove their mettle. He's just going to immediately jack the mech, have a little bit of a dance left and right, and slam him with some serious force towards there. He was initially going to go left, but realizing he'd just slap against the wall and end up back near his worm, he did go for the right. Grouping up the enemy worms is a fantastic strategy, and one Equinox here is proving very adept at. But Beware the Darkness, not to be deterred, with his quality worms, Lilana, Nissa, Jace, facing off against Moth, Shaco, Vati, and Rorschach. That's really gonna irritate me and probably you guys this entire game. Getting in his tank there, slowly going through his veritable arsenal of videos. Yes, of videos. God damn my words today. He's gonna explode the sniper, getting a really nice angle on the tank there, and it looks like we have
First Blood.
over to Beware the Darkness, claiming wormy carnage over his opponent there, sending one to the bottom of the ocean. That is just brutal and really not the kind of start you want to have. He's down to 4 worms, one of which is just a hair's breadth from death. But I guess it's fortunate for him that worms don't have hair. He is going to grab himself a couple of crafting crates, which will prove to be very useful. He's getting his roping on, going for some shenanigans. Oh, I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm no longer excited. That was okay. That was okay. He nicely bounced around the corner. The question is what he's going to do with it. He's getting very close to Nissa. He's violating the personal space rule, going straight past. Are we going to see a dynamite in the middle of them? We are going to see a dynamite in the middle of them. Going to escape into the Temple of Worth. I think this is a nice fitting map for the first one, the Central Temple. And that was mostly good. He did hurt himself a little bit, but that was a solid amount of damage on 2 of Darkness's worms there. And right now, he's just got to get the chip away going on. He's got to make it happen. He's got to whittle his opponent down until they can't withstand the battle anymore. Now, we're going to have to imagine what's going on in this temple, and I can only assume that hidden from our view, the worms are actually getting on with each other swimmingly and are having a little miniature tea party in there where they're just discussing life, how it's going, the wife, and maybe making out a little, but I presume that they will have to drop this facade at some point and blow each other up just for show, but secretly, this is the Lover's Retreat Temple, and, well, ain't that just romantic? Though I think I did hear the beeping of a sentry turret, which is not too good when you think about it. Taking control of this central fortification is a very important task on this map. But will Shaco be able to do anything for Equinox? So will he be able to equalize? Because, like, his name and that word shares some letters, so by the rules of humor, that makes that funny. I know. I have to think that Worms should really be commentated with, like, the slow, almost snooker commentary, like, he's got out a sheep, the sheep moving towards the target there, very well done, bouncing around inside the Temple of Love. He's looking to get the angle just right, hoping very much to slide that sheep into its destination. Only a couple seconds left, he's going to have to hurry up and get some sort of explosion. He does at least do it, and unfortunately blows up his own worm in a very, very surprising turnaround, showing his opponent a little bit of dominance, I think, was being asserted here, trying to let his opponent know that you see that worm there, he does not need it. That worm, he does not need it to defeat his opponent, trying to unnerve them, a very common strategy in the Worms rink, a nice bit of mind games being played here. Helicopter taken to the sky, a little bit of a headbang on the roof, but that's fine, still very functional, sturdy vehicles, these helicopters, very well made, definitely no parts being cheap, and the rain of bullets does go down. It's making quite the hole in the earth there. Not that many did hit Shaco. He's going to survive a little bit. I'd estimate about 35 damage there, so definitely could have been worse. He's going to escape out in the helicopter and come to rest on the temple. Oh, a little bit over my estimation, but still pretty close. At least with 100 health, you can do quite a lot, but this is to say Equinox is quite up against it here. It works, right? Like, it really works. Just the soft, slow, sports droll, I want to call it. I think that is quite good. He's got his bazooka out. I mean, unless he's going to go for some sick wind-based trick shots, which is certainly possible. The wind is in his favor. We shall see. Equinox, what is your plan? He's having a look around his weapons. He's going for the teleport, and ooh, he's trying to take the high ground up there. It's not a bad idea. It at least means that his opponent has to figure out a way to get there, though he does have control of the helicopter. However, the helicopter won't really be able to shoot that far because you have to tilt it in the air, so it's fairly safe. Only a couple jetpacks for them to work with. You really got to get your rope on all up in here. Lizard, just making sure he's fit. You got to do your stretches, your exercises, bit of roping before you start your turn. You don't want to pull a worm. It's the worst thing in the world if you pull a worm. That is just pure agony. And he's going to bust out his jetpack, going to grab it. I don't think he's got enough power to make it to the top left worm. He'd have to use both his jetpacks, which is a big commitment if he does fail this. And his one disadvantage here is he is very coalesced in the middle. He is sensibly taking the temple, and he's going to go for the long-range bazooka. Will he allow for the wind? I don't think he will, pushing it downwards underneath. That is a shame. Rooting that guy out is his #1 priority here, because Beware the Darkness is mobility, not too great. He's got the weapon usage down, but his map traversal a little bit wonky, a little bit clunky. Equinox definitely going for the more roping-based strategy, and here we have actual Equi, his champion worm, named after himself, forged in the flames of Wormhalla, and he's going for a sheep on a rope, which is a ballsy strategy here. You've got to have the skill, and he pulls it off. He gets a nice 55 damage on Nisa over there, manages to rope it to the right, causes Nisa to break out in an uncontrollable fit of dancing that he just cannot escape. Oi, mate, your money or your life. Oh my god, I choose my life. Really? Like, that means you're gonna die. No, I choose my life. Alright then. And I'm gonna stab you now. You realize that, right? Yeah, no, stab me. That's absolutely fine. And we'll get back to this example after this goes. And again, he overshoots and now hitting the roof. He's getting frustrated. He is wasting turn after turn here. I'm gonna stab you. Yeah, do it. Alright then, here we go. Hit it. We gotta boogie left and right, we gotta bleed all night all over the floor. Somebody ring me a hospital, cause I just cannot stop jiggling my knees. Oh yes, please help me please. Oh baby, can you see I'm gonna bleed out. And that's how you deal with being stabbed. I know it wasn't worth the payoff, but I had to deal with a homing missile in the middle. Here we got Jace, who I imagine is about to get a baseball bat to the face. Can he pull this off? He's trying to get the bounce, and he just misses the water there. Just catches on the lip. That is very, very unfortunate for Equinox here, but this is a very close battle so far. There's a lot of back and forth, a lot of fluff. I imagine there's some nerves. I can tell you that Equinox has been practicing day and night, never leaving worms not open, so we shall see. In a turn of fate, a full armored tank being driven into an ancient temple. I imagine that has got to be disrespecting some sort of burial ground, but fortunately worms don't really give a shit. The tank and the other one a little bit too close. He realizes at the last moment and does get away and stand on top of the enemy's worm. A very important thing to do. If your worm is on an enemy worm, it's basically completely safe. We got a weapon crate, crafting crate down. Will we see any crafted weapons in this first round? That is the question. We're 2 minutes away from the water rising, and that's going to change things up because the worms will start to head skyward, and Green's fortified position here in the middle will become a lot more jeopardized. So Equinox roping round in the temple at the middle, collecting all the crates. Very well done there, amassing a stockpile of weapons, going for that. He's using his ropes fairly well. He's getting around the place, and that's the important thing. And he's going to go for Lulana here. Now the question is, he's out of baseball bats. A fire punch is not going to make it, so what's he going to do? He's still going to attempt the fire punch, which is fine, because it does put him in death hole, which is an effective place to place your enemies. You know, anything named after death tends to be a quality place to place one's foes, and he's kind of fighting back the middle, which is doubly important because this is the crate place. This is where they spawn, and this is where the mass of your materials are going to come from. Now, the double-edged sword of standing on your opponent's worm here is Beware the Darkness. Cannot go for Equinox, but I do admit his name is kind of apt, because in the darkness of the temple where we can't see, he's been doing pretty well. He knocks Rorschach out of that, shoots him off the edge, does get a little bit too close to the ground though, and injures himself, cancelling the spray of bullets, which does unfortunately cost him his kill on Rorschach there, which is unfortunate. Why can't I remember how to correctly pronounce that name? I just don't know, but that is fine. Over to Equinox, and he is stepping up with his worm in the sky here. Is he going to do a sick bazooka shot? I mean, there's not really much in range. At best, he can hit the helicopter, but that will come at the cost of his own worm. So, we're going for another sheep. He's been crafting, and he's crafted himself a better sheep on a rope. Oh, look at this! this? This is a flying sheep if I ever saw one, trained in the Himalayas by the ancient ninja clan, crossing the map in seconds with 3 seconds left. He's gonna come in and boom! Mass damage here over on the right, 50 down to basically half health, just a little bit under. That was impressive. I have never seen a sheep move that fast since the last time it was chased by a Welshman. That was just impressive. Okay, back to Beware the Darkness, grabbing a couple cases of goodies. Will we see some super weapons be busted out? We're not far off from the bananas and the holy hand grenades unlocking, which is where the destruction will really start. Is he going to get on the gun turret, or is he just going to go for the very safe fire punch, which will kill him? He is indeed, and he bounces back off the gun, and it is good night, Irene, for that worm. He might as well be called Irene, because I can't save the current name. And he falls over and donkey statues his way. So, green has 3 worms that are effectively one-hittable. Blue has 3 fairly healthy worms, but then again, green does have 2 completely full health worms. So there is no denying that if Equinox here does not start getting a little bit of a move on, does not start laying down some actual solid kills, well, he's going to find himself in a really difficult position. He is up against the wall. He is a worm in trouble. He is a worm-based struggle, but I think he's going to surprise us yet. I do. Beware the Darkness playing a very solid but standard game, and I think Equinox is going to end up having a little bit more of a surprise. He's made himself a second baseball bat. He's going to try and aim it a little bit better here. He flies. Does he score? And again, accidentally puts him in a little bit of a nook and cranny, preventing the bounce into the water. He's got to be frustrated. He's got to be feeling that. He's got to be sat there with red on his cheeks going, I can't believe that happened. You just know that's what's occurring here. So, we are down to sudden death. Green's going to take this opportunity to instantly teleport to the high ground. A sensible move because he now claims it. However, it's very easy to knock someone off there. Whereas Shaco's position, not that much. But we shall see. Back over to blue. He's got to make something happen. He's got to use these turns that green does absolutely nothing offensive to make the plays. He's got himself the parachute on. Going to grab a little bit of a health pack, which he does desperately need. That 50 is going to go a long way to equalizing this. As long as he can avoid water-based instant kills, he might very well win the attrition game in the long run, because he is on average, I think, doing more actual worm health damage a turn, and no! Disaster for the Equinox, banging his head inside the Temple of Love and coming crashing down next to the tank, not only wasting his turn, but placing 2 of his worms in immediate danger next to each other. Oh, how will he recover? He at least gets another turn too, because Beware the Darkness going for that second teleport after activating a craft. Going to actually worm select to get a little bit of pain here. He's going to grab himself a weapon and some crafting materials. Maybe not even bother with the weapon. He probably wants some dead blue. No, he's actually going to coalesce his Fortress of Strength. He's going to advance all of his worms to the high ground position and hold the hill. It's advantageous in every single battle that's ever been fought in history, and I imagine it'll work here for his worms. However, most battles in histories aren't fought with highly explosive cluster bananas, so we shall see. Though the idea of an entirely medieval army running in with holy hand grenades is beautiful. Equinox going for some roping action here. The first proper roping of the entire tournament, doing it very solidly. Admittedly not crazy difficult, but he does it. A beautifully swift crossing of the map, and there it is! What did I say? Oh, he's gotta run! He has gotta run, and he works it out quite nicely. He does panic a little bit, and oh! The tank mine! And he gets, oh, still nothing but the water might raise. He does 200 damage to either of them. One of them dies. The water just not taking Chandra, but with that one excellent move, followed by a rope, completely turns the game around. Equinox, what a guy. What a guy. How does that make you feel? Let's get a little bit of a commentary going on from our players here. They've got to be reeling after that banana turnaround. That was some excellent moving there. Apart from the panic jump down, it was pitch perfect, and Beware the Darkness has got to be a little bit frustrated that he was force-fed that much potassium. That is quite impressive. Going to take the helicopter, move over to the center, and prepare himself for a little bit of a retaliatory move. He's gonna put a TF2 sentry gun down. He crafted that for himself, and he's gonna watch them. Really keen to stay in charge of the Temple of Love here. I'm happy, but didn't deserve that. Alright, Equinox with the modesty there. Oh, goddamn. Wonderful. Alright, he's in that tank. Oh my god! The brutality! 168 damage, followed by 80, and then chain worm deaths. So let's head over to Analysis Corner and explain why this sentry was actually quite an ingenious move. So, he knew that the next worm up for blue is the one in the tank. Knowing that, he places the sentry turret there instead of just lobbing a banana bomb in that general area. Why would he do that? Well, number one, the banana bomb isn't a guaranteed kill on one of them, never mind two. The same with many of the weapons. The next reason is that the sentry forces blue to do a few things, because you can't do anything in a vehicle without really triggering it. If you move, it triggers. If you get out, it triggers. So all he can really do is skip his turn, or what he should have done, and waste his worm select just to have his turn. Now, he didn't think about the worm select, but panic happens to the best of them in a high pressure situation. So he then triggers the sentry, which does a crap ton of damage, because he crafted the TF2 one specifically knowing this, and killed both of his worms. So this was a very well thought out move for green that really, no matter what blue did, was a massive win for him. Let's get back on with the game. Christ! That has got to suck for Equinox. He has got to be upset right now. That was brutal. He's not happy about that. Oh, he's not happy about that. That is not good. This might be it right here. This might be the final turn. He's only got one worm left. He's getting the baseball bat. He might be a little bit farther away. No, he's just going for the banana bomb. He wants it one and done. Right on his face. This is gonna be it. The explosion? No, he might. No, in the drink. There it is. Equinox eliminated with a beautiful sentry placement there. And that is probably one of the moves that will go down in this tournament's history. Yes, indeed. We have our first second round competitor. Beware the Darkness with the Justice League. He's here. He is the top worm. And with a very solid game plan, he does claim sweet, sweet victory. Shout out to the probably MVP player Rage Gaming there for some excellent contribution to this match. But all in all, thus the worm doth crumble. Beware the Darkness covering his opponent in a shroud of misery before obliterating him from this earth. he burns him away and moves forward into the next round. Congratulations to him and commiserations to Equinox. Let me know, guys, if you had fun with this. Let me know if you like this style of presenting the tournament. I am working as hard as I can to make this the very best viewing experience for you all, and it really would mean the world to me if you would let people know of the majesty of the destruction, and hell, maybe even take the time to hit that like button, as loath as I am to say something like that. And remember, there is still places left in the tournament. If you want to send an email to RageGamingWorms, tell me your Worms experience, tell me a bit about you, leave your Steam link, and obviously own the game, well, do so. Let's see if you've got the right stuff to fight for the plushie of legend. Yes, indeed. But for now, my name has been Rage. Subscribe for more. Goodbye.